So let me show first what we are about to create here. Looks like I'm in the play mode. So we will go here and place this little power-up mushroom here in the environment. And let's observe it. By default, it increases the player's maximum health by 2, but let's tell it maybe 6, so that it's a little bit more noticeable. And now we can go test it. There is my mushroom, or 2. And if you can see on the top right corner, I have 3 hearts for my health. And if I go over it, I will get 3 more. You may have noticed that I added number 6 there in the menu, and these hearts go in increments of half of a heart. So 6 means 3 extra hearts. Easy peasy. Let's see how it was actually done. We will go to our Unity project. Oops, sorry, one. So just like always, we go to File, New Prop. Here in the Endstar Unity SDK, select New Prop. Let's call it the Mushy Health Powerup. And then we add some description. This can be changed later too, but good to add something that makes sense. This mushroom increases your maximum health. Create. Okay, here we are in our usual view. So let's get our assets first in. I can go to my file browser and get my FBX file for the file that I created in Blender. There is my mushroom. And I can also use this feature inside Unity for importing a new asset. I'll show that. Let's go here. Green cap and the white texture for the stem. Import. Oh, I think I unselected the other one, so let's go get the cap material still. Could have selected both of them at the same time. Let's drag my oversized mushroom in. We can scale it a little bit. Make it smaller. It's a pretty good size. Move it over. Roughly there. I think I will need to use these controls though to move it a little bit more. Get it here. It's like roughly eyeball that it's in the right spot. Not a big deal for this demonstration. I think it's starting to look pretty good. Okay. Then we will, as always, we will need to create Endstar friendly materials for this prop. So let's choose create new material and say this is the stem material. And we will go inspect it. So here is the SDK tab. We go to the inspector tab and we will remove this universal render pipeline shader because Endstar is not going to like it, and search for endless. So we can easily find the endless shader no fade, which is always a solution as far as I know for everything. So just select that one. And then also we can drag the texture to this first block here. So what did I wanted to do the stem first. Drag the stem material there. This should be good to go. And then we will repeat the same process for the cap. So create new material. Bang. And then we will go do the same thing again. Get rid of this universal render pipeline. Search for endless. And choose endless shader no fade. There it is. And then we can go drag the texture map there as well. Basically drag it there. Okay, good. There it is. Then what we want to do next is we want to go back to the mushroom itself and make sure these are some random materials from Blender. Actually looks nice, but I will need to recreate these in the Unity SDK. So what we will do is we will drag these materials that we just created into here. Oh, I think I didn't rename this. It's okay, Puuta, but yeah, good practice to name it as something that makes sense. Now it's just going to be called new material, but that's okay. And oops, accidentally selected. Now it's showing the inspector details for the material itself. So I need to go back here and select the mushroom and then long hold, drag it up here. So now I have my stem material as well up there. And this should be all good to go, this mushroom itself. However, what we will still need to do, we need to add a collider for this. And to do that, we go to this left panel here and we create an empty object. And we will call this collider. So there is my collider. I need to add a component. So I'm going to add, it's actually here as the first one, the box collider. So I need to select this, but if you don't see it, you just search for, let me show you, you just search for box and it should pop up. So select the box collider. And we wanna, oops, sorry, I'm gonna Control Z that. This is a nice way to center it too. I'm just gonna make it a little bit smaller. So instead of having the values at 1, I'm gonna make them 0.6, and then now I can just drag it to the mushroom. And I could use the same scaling tools that I used before as well. I'm going to kind of sanity check that my mushroom looks good, my collider looks good. So it's approximately the same size because it's going to define the events that trigger when the player goes on top of this area. So it's good to have it approximately the same size as the visuals as well. And then I will also need to add another component. And what I will do is I'm going to add the collider info component. And it says, like good sanity check here, it says endless props as well. So I need to add the collider info. And this helps Endstar to know what to do with this prop. So now we have collider info added as well. And the collider type needs to be set to world trigger. So you just click this drop-down menu and go and select world trigger. At this point as well, or you may have done this, want to do this earlier, but I haven't selected a base type for my prop yet. So it shouldn't be in this case static because we want some interactivity. Instead, you're going to be selecting this instant pickup type. And be sure to do this before the next step that I am about to show. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you have the inspector tab open. And then you go back to your object. And now you can see there is this option as well for the world trigger area. So basically, like, what is the trigger area? We don't have anything here. So we will need to go get our collider there. So again, don't click this, just long press it and drag it over there. So now my collider is defining what is the world trigger area, kind of like wiring it together. I think we should be good to go. I think we need to do this snap icon step. My mushroom was so scaled up that for some reason the Endstar icon snapper doesn't work too well with it, but you can set this up separately as well. Doesn't matter though, you just need to make sure you don't skip that step. And now we can export, and fingers crossed it will work just fine. And next we will get to the scripting. And meanwhile this is exporting. I would like to show you a great resource. Endstar Wiki. There is a lot of useful content, especially if you know what to look for. So what are we doing here? We are creating an instant pickup. If you go to endstar.wiki.gg,
for a good game, you will be able to use this search bar here and just type in instant pickup. Here we have a lot of information related to what you just saw in the video. And also we're gonna need this little bit of code here in our next step. So let's go and let's copy it to our copy board. So we are ready for the next step. Let's see if our prop has already exported. Still going a little bit. This last bit usually goes very quickly. Okay, success. So let's go test and see if it actually worked. Mushy health power up. So let's go to Endstar. Oops. And I'm in the game mode again. So let's go to my game studio game and find my prop. Let's see if we can find it. So I just go to the, if it's a new prop, you go and click this plus sign. If it's a prop update, then you will need to go to this screen, but we will cover that in another video, perhaps in the future. So I go search for a prop. I change this published to owned. And here is my mushy health power up. Let's go check it out. We will add it to our game. And now I can place it. There it is. And next what we want to do is we want to edit the script. And we click this. It's completely empty, but no worries. I just went to that Endstar wiki page and copied plenty of code, so we will at least have a good starting point. And what we want to do here is that we want to first make some small changes. We're going to change this instigator to context. And what this means, it will get the context of whatever goes over it. And in this case, it is going to be the player. And we're going to create this local variable health typing, and then we're gonna assign to it from the context that just got passed over try get component. So you just start typing and there you go. And then from the component we will get its health. Component.health, there it is, didn't even need to type it. And then we're gonna add a condition if the health is not nil, then we're gonna do a few things. And let's see, health dot so here what we want to do, we have a lot of different functions for this. So we could get the health, we could set the health to something, we could get what is the max health. We will just go ahead and we will change the max health. And if you need to get more information what exactly all this is, you can go to that Endstar wiki, or you can also click this button here. Open for me in different window, but you basically, let me drag it over. It basically gives you the API. I can't drag it over because this is full screen, but it will give you the API documentation, so you can search for all the different possibilities that you can do with health, for instance, and what does it exactly mean. So we're gonna use this change max health function, and what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take the context, and let's say we could, for instance, say here we want to add 2 more hearts to the max health, and then just return true. And here actually in these helpful comments, which is always good practice to add yourself as well, so you remember, like myself, like I can't remember a thing if I look at the code 1 week from now. In that placeholder code, somebody had kindly written that you return true to hide the prop mesh, fire the onCollected event, and then start the particle system. Otherwise, return false. So I will need to add here end as well, because if this if statement was executed, we just wanna end here, but otherwise we're not gonna return true, we're just gonna return false. Okay, and we can go ahead and test this. I'm gonna X out and I will say save. And let's place a couple of more mushrooms here. And then we can go, then we can go play and see if it does anything. It should add a little bit to my maximum health. There you go. And I think I said 2, so like I mentioned earlier, it goes in half heart increments. Since I said 2, it will give me a full heart. And now I click the Option or Alt key in Windows and press that stop, so that frees up my mouse. And I'm back in the build mode. Let's clean up our mushrooms a little bit, and we will go back to mushroom editing because I want to show you one more thing. If you remember in the beginning of this tutorial, I showed you how to change the health delta, or how much the health should change by using the visual scripting interface. So we want to add that sort of functionality for this mushroom. So for instance, if my teammates want to use the same mushroom, they can change how much the health changes, or if in playtesting I decide like, oh, like that's too little max health addition, I can easily change it in the visual interface without needing to go to the code. Also, if you publish the prop to everybody in Endstar to use, then that's a nice way to customize it to specific use cases. Let's go back to script editing, and this is a super easy step. So I will just need to go and create a new, and I will create a new inspector value. Just hit this OK button, and it's going to be an integer, and just say OK. So let's call this max health, of course, change. It needs to be all written together because I'm going to be using it in the code. And then here something descriptive. So how much health will the player gain when they walk over the power-up? Max health, just to be specific. And I think 2 was pretty good number earlier there, so let's keep it at 2, and I might even be more helpful here and say even numbers work the best. Because if you add an odd number, then it's going to give a half heart, which I think looks a little bit odd in the UI. Let's say OK. So now I have this new variable here, max health change, that I can use instead of this 2. Change. We just add it here. X out, remember to save. And let's place a couple of mushrooms again. Observe the mushroom. And let's say this will change 6. So that should add 3 full hearts into the player's max health. And now we go test. So I have 3 health points. After I go over this, I should walk over this, I should have 6 total. Yay! And even more. There we go. So that's a nice little power up. I can have more health in the game. That's all this time. I hope you have fun with playing with Endstar yourself. Thank you.